If you've tried attention-based marketing before and it really hasn't worked out for you, there's a good chance that you are using the wrong model. No punches pulled today on 8-Second Rule.
This is 8-Second Rule, the podcast about attention-based marketing where we talk about getting, holding on to, and developing the attention of your ideal audience. You've got 8 seconds. What are you going to do with it?
So today on 8-Second Rule, I, Mark R. Morris Jr., your host and the bull rider of copywriting. If you don't know what that means, find me on LinkedIn under Mark R. Morris Jr. am going to share with you about some different models of attention-based marketing that I've seen in my 10 plus years experience in social media marketing, and show you the upside and the downside of each of them, and then kind of set you up for the next episode in which I'm going to describe what I think should be the model. So that's today on 8-Second Rule. If you've been around social media marketing for very long, or attention-based marketing, you've probably noticed that there's a lot of different models. Not everybody does it the same way. And today on 8-Second Rule, I'm going to share with you some of those and what I think the upside is, and what I think some of the fallacies are, and why they don't work for people. And then that's going to set you up. Yes, I am. I'm leading into a sequel. And I'm going to show you what I think is a better model in my next episode. So, guys, I hope you're ready for this. 8-Second Rule.
Hi, guys. This is Mark Morris, the copy bull rider from 8 Seconds Rule. And I just want to start off by telling you about Anchor. Anchor.fm. I found this site a couple of years ago, and it is the simplest and easiest way to start a podcast that I know of today. You can do it straight from your smartphone. You don't need anything but their app. It's free. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast. You can even add music, add buffers, all of those things right here on the site. It doesn't cost anything to host it. You can start as many as you want. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it's heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more, and you make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
So the first model that I want to talk to you about when it comes to attention-based marketing is what used to be called the guru model. The word guru was used a lot in the early days of social media marketing. It's now influencer, basically. The model has changed slightly, but the process is basically the same and the results are similar. So if you find an influencer or a guru who truly has done what they say they have done, that's a good person to follow, okay? They're going to give you some great advice, but the problem is way too many of them either have gotten great short-term benefits that they can tout, or they've staged the whole thing and claim that they don't buy ads or they don't spend money on this or that, and they did. So their model is skewed, and when people try to follow it, it ends up being a disaster. So what does this look like? It's rare wisdom, somebody who spouts things that are going to be, this high-level stuff, and they claim that they get $1,500 an hour to talk to people. And the only way that you can get the benefit of that is you have to hire that person. So basically, they're not even doing any physical building or anything like that. It's just all ideas. And there's nothing wrong with ideas. I love being hired to consult. It's great. And actually, I think I provide some of my best value there. But the thing of it is that you just don't know. You have to take the advice and apply it before you can find out if it works. What these guys will do on the bad end of it, on the good end, like I said, it's great advice. You'll get a lot of stuff for free if you follow them, if you follow their blog, if you follow their social media. On the bad end of it, they spoon it out a little at a time. They make it sound really good. They talk to you about if you want to make this kind of money, if you want to be this kind of successful person, but they keep the means of actually achieving that squishy enough so they can change it and prevent you from nailing them down and claiming that it doesn't work. So then they get you into their coaching circles, they get you into their premium groups, And it operates somewhat like a Ponzi scheme where they're generating success based on getting people in to a club that will teach them how to generate success. So then they can show the kinds of results they want to show by getting onto a beach, by doing different things. And the reason that this caught my eye initially, and the reason that I started to see through this back in the early days, because I downloaded, the guides, and I sat through a few of the webinars, and I started to realize they were all saying the same thing, which was nothing. Nothing actionable was coming out of there unless you spent some money. So here's when I realized that it wasn't legit, because I started noticing that there was a new one every 6 months or even less, and that cycle seemed to be shrinking. So if you pay attention, the ones who stick around are the ones you want to pay attention to. All right. If they haven't been out there for more than 5 or 6 months, then probably they aren't doing what they claim to do, or they're maybe shaky at best. All right. Okay, so the second model that I want to talk to you about today is the funnel coach model, or the funnel building model. Okay. Funnels are where you have a wide opening at the top of your marketing stream, and you're going to capture leads from emails, from cold emails, from random people in different groups. You're going to appeal to large blocks of population that you think might fit in your market, but you never really know. And the idea is to get just a ton of them to dump into the top of the funnel. It's kind of like one of those things that you've seen at the grocery store where you drop a penny in and it spins down into a narrower and narrower hole, right? So the idea is that you build an offer so sweet at the bottom of that funnel, and you keep telling them that your offer is so sweet, but they have to go to the bottom of the funnel to find out. No one can refuse it if they get there, right? But they have to go through several layers. And so the beauty of this is it's like a water filtration system, all right? The more layers of sediment and stuff you have in a water filtration system, the better the water is on the back end. So this will qualify your leads coming in and make them more focused and more prepared to work with you. You have to drive traffic through funnels and drip campaigns to landing pages and different ways to capture their information, whether that's a lead magnet, whether that right now is Facebook groups is a good way that they're doing it. And then you have to spam the hell out of them, basically, because it's only a very small percentage of them that even want your product, but you've got them linked in, and so you feel like you are doing something. And here's the thing. There's two things that happen here. Number one, if you've hired someone to do this for you, they're showing you, oh my gosh, we got 50,000 opens of this email that we sent out, and it only cost you X amount of dollars, so it's 50,000 leads. Well, are they really? Or did they write a clickbait email headline that made people click into it, but it doesn't mean anything? You just don't know, okay? So these people make the real money off of building and teaching the construction of the layers of the funnel system. So initially, funnels were used for niche markets like dog food or baby diapers or bicycling or something like that, where you could write an affinity site and then you use these funnels to get people to click into there, and you have tons and tons and tons of traffic, and you have an affiliate marketing link, and they buy something off of Amazon, and you make a couple of bucks every time they make a sale, and it's a set it and forget it type of business. You build 20 of these, and they're each providing you with $200 a month. Then you've got $4,000. That's $50,000 that you don't have to do anything with. That works. Okay. Still today, you can make that happen, but it requires a large upfront investment of capital and time to actually build it out. So when you apply this model to a traditional business, though, here's the problem. Most traditional businesses, there is not enough organic or even random traffic to pour into the top of that funnel to produce the results you need. If you need 10 new customers a month and there's only 50 people in your entire state who ever search for what you do, then it doesn't matter what kind of funnel you build, because even if you captured all 50 of them, you're probably not going to land 10 customers every single month from just 50 leads. Okay. Plus, just because last month 50 people searched for it, 10 might this month. You don't know. So you have to actually know what the traffic demand for your business is. If there's a high demand, that's great. Then you can pour a lot of leads in there and a few will clink out at the bottom. It's kind of like if you go to the Coinstar machine and you pour in all your change in there because you're broke and you need a taco, and that one ugly penny keeps bouncing back out. That's how the actual leads come out the bottom of a funnel. Okay, it's very few that come out the bottom. A lot go in at the top, and somewhere along the way, the rest of them lose their attention. All right. By the time you get this built, you've wasted all your capital. You've helped make them rich. So their success is built on you building the funnel and learning how to build the funnel. And the results that you thought you were going to make, they might mean nothing. So you poured a bunch of ad clicks at the top of your funnel, and that does not necessarily mean that those are going to translate into sales down at the bottom of the funnel. All right, so the next model that we have here is the perceived relationship or community building model. The constant upsell model is what this actually should be called. And this doles out promises and peeks behind a curtain into a higher lifestyle. But the problem is that every single curtain is inside another curtain is inside another curtain. It's like the social media marketing version of a Russian doll. And the closer you get to the inside, the less there really is. Okay. You'll know these guys because they're shooting a video in their quote unquote palatial mansion that they may or may not own. Okay, Google these guys. Google the name. If you don't find them, they're not a billionaire. There's no reclusive billionaires that don't get listed somewhere. Okay. They take pictures with their fancy cars, and then they get you into a webinar, and all they do is talk about how successful they are and how their business partners are so successful. All right. And they kind of share just a little bit maybe about what they claim to be their business model, but mostly they're just talking about the benefits of their system. And what this does, is it just provides almost zero actionable content at level 1, at the free level. You always have to go through a pay gate to get to anything that you think might be usable. But the problem is there's just a higher level of bullshit behind each pay gate. And then they say, well, if it's not working for you, you just need more help. Cha-ching. Come on into another deeper level. You'll get closer to me. You'll move into my inner circle. You'll get me personally helping you make money. Cha-ching. Donald Trump did this with Trump University, and then you end up getting nothing but a picture with a cardboard cutout of the cheesiest man alive, right? Join my mastermind. You're at the elite level. Cha-ching. Eventually, if you go far enough, they have business investments and products that they want you to get into, like a real estate deal or something like that. So you put in a big chunk of money because they're making all this money, and they've been paying you a little bit on the side because they see that you're a sucker with a big enough bank account. You're what they call a whale, right? They want you to become a brand evangelist for their brand of bullshit. And here's what happens. They take the money from the bottom, they put it in your pocket. Okay? It's a Ponzi scheme. So they tell you they're paying you back for your investment. Well, you put in $100,000. Here's $1,000 this week. Next week, it's going to be $2,000. And you go tell all your people, I made $1,000 this week. No, you didn't. They gave you $1,000 of your own damn money back, and you're not going to see the rest. So you have to watch out for this stuff. And there's always an explanation, and they always manage to make it look legal until they get caught. And then the whole thing blows up. But guess who never gets paid back? The victims, the actual victims, right? Okay, so that's it for that model. So the next model is the constant product innovation model. All right, and this is where you're constantly improving your offering, and then they just blame it on the internet, or they blame it on whatever. They show results from those who've been successful using it. Listen, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, right? Somebody gets lucky, or maybe somebody pours in a bunch of money and then they get a small return on the back end, and they think that, the person's telling them that investment, you put in $10,000. Look, you've already got 500 back out of it, but next week it's going to be 1,000, and the week after that's going to be 4,000, and it's just going to balloon like mine did. Well, you don't know what they actually did. All you know is what they're telling you. You can't see how much money they poured into AdSense in the beginning. You can't see what they did, what kind of black hat nonsense they did, what kind of Russian hackers they hired to get the leads they've got. You don't know where any of this comes from. And it depends on a steady stream of new clients. That's what this model depends on. And it is small money, so they're only taking a little bit from you, but they have a lot of customers and who are all convinced, it just didn't work for me. Because a few people are going to make it work. They're going to have the money and the drive to actually sit down. Look, a bad plan is better than no plan, guys, and some people will make it work. That's why this one can be dangerous, but you'll notice the model is always changing, okay? So when you see that happening, that you want to watch out, because if it was working, listen, Bill Gates started in computers, still selling computers. Jeff Bezos started selling stuff online, still selling stuff online. Mark Cuban bought a sports team, still buying companies and reselling them. Okay, do you get what I'm saying? Wolfgang Puck doesn't suddenly become an internet marketer. No, he's a chef, and he's a world-renowned chef, and he makes a lot of money doing it. Okay? People who are truly successful at what they do either keep doing what they do, or they retire and they teach other people how to do it legitimately. Okay? That's not what this is. All right. So that's it for that model. I got one more here that I want to share with you. And this model I call the optimization model. So this one is kind of tricky because it actually does work. It's like SEO, right? Search engine optimization, listings optimization, keywords, positioning, business listings, directories, all that kind of stuff to make your business appear. And it's great. It can work really well if you're a plumber. Okay. But if you're in a crowded internet market that is actually national or international, it's going to be hard to make your business rise above all of that just using positioning. The other thing too is you can get traffic from SEO very simply. I'll show you how you do it. You go and sign up for a free blogger blog right now. You go and you find the trending topics for today, and you write an article that incorporates 20 of the top 100 search terms of the day. You post it live, and then you sit back and you watch. I don't care what you name the blog. I don't care if you put any pictures on it. I don't care if it even has any content other than just those names and maybe enough to fill out a couple of paragraphs so that Google sees it and thinks it's relevant. Within a few hours, you'll have hits. Okay? You will have traffic. Now, a lot of that traffic is bot traffic, B-O-T, not B-O-U-G-H-T. But that's what optimization brings you, for the most part. Okay. And this is the same thing that I told you up in the beginning with the other model, with the funnel model. It depends on how much traffic is even available as to how much SEO is actually going to help you. Okay. If only 30 people are looking, every month in your market for what you do, then that's the best you can hope to do, is capture all 30 of those leads. That's it. It can never be more than that, because you have to find another way of generating interest for what you do. That's not to say that people won't buy your product or aren't interested in it, and there aren't even huge groups of people out there that want it. It's just saying that SEO is only going to bring you what there is available in search engine traffic. That's it. That's all it can do. Okay? It can never go above and beyond that. So you need to know what that is. It's really an ad revenue model, and it works if you can put in enough money and then the payoff is good enough. So I would say if you're a high ticket, producer, then great. Like if you're a plumbing company, like I said, this is something that will help you. It'll put you above the competition in your city. So you've got a local market, then that's great. Fantastic. If you're one of a very few people that do what you do, that's great. If there's a lot of people looking for you. If you've gotten into a business that has high demand and low supply, then that's great. Okay. That's where you want to go, is optimization. Passively, it provides little value, though. Okay. Unless it's dumping a ton of traffic in, like I said, with the funnel model up top, it's not really going to provide you the kind of value that you might want. Okay. And finally, I'm just going to talk about one more thing that kind of happens, and that is the best-selling author model, where they try to tell you that a book will make you a fortune. I'm a ghostwriter, people. It isn't true. It is a lie, and 9 times out of 10, it is a scam, and here is how it works. Take my book over on payhip.com. It's not even on Amazon anymore, I don't think. It's called Creativity, and it's all about the creative process. Now, I got off of Amazon at one point entirely because they were messing authors around, and it just turned into a big nightmare. And it's a whole political thing to get to the top of Amazon. It can be really tough. It's not a bad thing. It's just I didn't want to play. So I put my stuff on payhip.com. Well, my book's sitting over there, but it was once an Amazon #1 bestseller in personal success. Okay. So it was in a small category. It had a few sales in one particular hour, and then it stayed at the top of that list for about 2 days, and then it plummeted immediately to the bottom. I got several thousand downloads eventually off of it, and I've sold even more copies since I've been over at payhip.com. But the thing is, it wasn't a New York Times bestseller ever. There was never 100,000 copies of it sold. So when you hear that, it's much more impressive sounding than the actuality. And that's what most of these guys are selling, is that kind of a scam right there. They're saying, I never wrote a book before. I did this in a weekend. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. You can do the same thing and you can get these results. Okay, great. Well, I'm still waiting because I don't have my palatial estate based on the sales of that #1 bestseller. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm telling you from the inside, having done it, this doesn't necessarily translate into big money or an audience or fame or anything else. Sometimes it's just exactly what it is. You sell a few books. All right, so in my next episode, I'm going to share with you a model that I think works better. I'm going to try to get that episode up following this one. It's going to be episode 12. This is episode 11. That's it for 8-second rule today. So I'm going to come back in just a second. I'm going to share with you a free tool that I think you'll really, really like. Okay, guys, so you know that I am a writer. You know that I'm a ghostwriter by trade. This is what I do. I write books for people. They put their names on them and they sell the books. But I haven't mentioned anything about publishing tools really yet. So one that I want to mention to you is payhip.com, payhip.com. Why am I mentioning this? Well, it's a site where you can put up ebooks, you can put up audio files, you can put up video, you can put up pretty much any kind of digital content. It has a storefront built into it that will drop money directly into your PayPal or Stripe account with every single sale almost instantly. Okay, I think Stripe takes a little bit. PayPal is instant. If you get people to pay with PayPal, you get that money right away. Here's the real beauty of it, though. They only keep 5% of your sales. Okay, so you manage it yourself. You design your own page. You upload your own product. You put all of those pieces together, and they just provide you with a place to sell it. So it gives you a little bit of legitimacy, but it's honestly a way to have a back end on a website. If you don't spend a bunch of money to actually serve ebooks off your website, you can plug this in and use it to actually sell books. And it's worked really well for me in the past. If you want to find me over there, it's Mark R. Morris Jr. And if you want a link to it, just hit me up on LinkedIn or email me at markrmorris2@gmail.com. I'll be glad to send it. And you can take a look at the books that I have there, and also just the platform in general, because it costs nothing to be a part of it. It costs nothing to upload things. It costs nothing to have all those products sitting out there ready to be delivered, and you can make money today. You can put products up the same day and get paid. All right, guys, that's it for 8-second rule. Remember, you've only got 8 seconds. What are you going to do with it?